rabbit holes and exploring numerous conspiracies, I've arrived at the startling yet straightforward conclusion. The world we inhabit has largely been influenced and controlled by a satanic elite. This revelation is indeed shocking to many, and it's crucial for someone like me to back such claims with solid evidence. Unfortunately, much of this evidence has been scrubbed from the mainstream search engines, making it increasingly difficult to access. I created this channel with a vital purpose in mind: to expose, discuss, and provide information that is often hidden or overlooked. It aims to be a central hub for uncovering information that is not indexed in mainstream search engines, allowing seekers of the truth to find what they are looking for without any censorship. My primary motivation for establishing this website stems from a deep passion for uncovering the truth and a strong desire to help others understand that Christ is the ultimate answer to the chaos we see around us. I personally fund the operation of this channel, and while any donations are appreciated, I want to emphasize that this information will always be available for free. I firmly believe that the truth, particularly the truth of Christ, has the power to set us free. However, I must caution you, the information presented here can be overwhelming to some, and it is sometimes a double-edged sword, revealing uncomfortable truths that can challenge even our most basic worldviews at times. Yet for many, including myself, the lies propagated by the elite often serve to only reinforce the existence of an all-powerful, all-eternal God, a divine being who transcends even those who seek to manipulate and control. This is the God that they are desperately trying to keep hidden from us. While I share my perspectives, I encourage you to seek out and pray for your own understanding and form your own opinions. Ultimately, the journey towards truth may look different for everyone, but the ultimate truth is Jesus Christ, and I hope this repository aids you in that pursuit of ultimately finding Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show on earth. Prepare to be amazed. Please welcome your host for this evening, Mr. Flat Earth Man.
Thank you. Listen up. The whole world's a stage and you're in the audience, and everything you see on the stage is fraudulent. Nothing you see before you is fact. Are you ready for your headline act? This act is truly one of a kind. They'll dazzle you and play tricks on your mind. An illusionist with billions of fans. Please welcome NASA. Put together your hands. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's so lovely to see you again. Tonight we have a very special show. There's a few things we want you to know. Tonight we reveal some of our techniques. We'll expose NASA like WikiLeaks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll show you how we fool the world. And when we're done exposing our lies, none of you are gonna realize, even though we're gonna tell you straight, it'll be too hard for you to contemplate. A trick so huge you won't believe, impossible for you to conceive. That's why we tell it, cause you'll reject it. A lie so big you can't accept it. No, you can't.
There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody high. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, space is fake. We can't believe you fell for it, man.
Hanging around in a harness. guy. We all think he's a grifter. We know he's a liar. We don't even think so. We know for a fact he's a liar. So for you to say he's the most honest flat earther and that flat earthers unanimously accepted him as the best debater is just, I would say that's not true. But I'm asking you, do you have any evidence or messages or any claims at all from flat earthers that he unanimously won the debate? Because anyone I've talked to, we all said he did an awful job, and he's a grifter. He sells
Okay.
flat Earth fitness. That's all I needed to know. He gave himself his own degree. So obviously this guy's a liar and he's not to be trusted. So I don't know how you say he's the most honest.
Okay, I didn't say that it was all flat earthers that told me that. So that's the first misunderstanding here. Who do you think did the best job in the final debate? Because good luck with flat earth if that's what you think is a good argument, and we'll convince people.
Well,
Take care.
I'm not saying it's an argument, but so do you have an answer to the
The
question?
best person in the debate called me a liar. Like that's flat earth
Yeah.
rule number 1, call everyone liars. Keep it
It's a
up.
great point, honestly.
You won't convert anybody.
Welcome,
I'm
Jim.
with
Good to see you.
Okay, but do you have an answer to that question though?
that. To what question?
Well, you said Stephen Alonso is the most honest flat earther. What makes you come to that conclusion?
Okay, 2 things. He made a video saying that
Hey, Sandro.
every flat earther should join the final debate for the mere fact.
I'm just playing this to get some context because I'm pretty sure Steven is shilling for Duffy. So, we got Duffy having his back here saying he's the most honest guy.
That I'm donating to charity. He's right. He's right. And so we had an abysmal showing from the flat earth community. The second thing is he'll admit what would falsify flat earth. Will you admit that right now?
Well, what do you think would falsify flat earth? Because I don't want to agree to just say, oh yeah, I agree, and then I don't know what you're actually.
I'm telling you why I call him honest. He's willing to volunteer what would falsify flat earth. Are you willing to do that?
Not in this context, no.
Exactly.
Because you haven't given me what would falsify flat earth, so I'm not just going to agree.
I'm asking you to volunteer it.
Volunteer what exactly?
What would prove the globe and falsify flat earth? What?
I'm not here to debate that. I was just here to ask you a couple questions about.
Okay, well, he does that. Other flat earthers don't. So there you go.
Well, let me rephrase this, right? Can you still say obviously he's not totally honest about everything? Clearly.
No one is, and that includes Steven.
Okay. All right. I'll accept that answer.
Okay.
Okay, guys, onto the main topic here. Whoops, didn't mean to share that one. Okay, all right. So we did like 5 minutes of this video, the first stream I did on this guy, but I didn't get very far into it. And Roger came in, and we ended up having a whole like 5-hour discussion on something completely different. So we're gonna try to get through this video because I watched a little bit after the 5 minutes where we stopped it, and it only gets worse. So.
Hey there, Dr. Stephen Alonso here of the Flat.
Like I said, I've already covered this, so I'm not going to gripe him too much until the 5-minute mark, and then I'm going to go all in. But as you can see here, he's got the AE map. He's got his own textbook that he made, his own book on the immortality of the soul, COVID calisthenics, because, those two things relate. Got his Flat Earth University and his fake doctorate. Obviously, the TFE documentary that he came out with. This is a flat earther. He sells TFE merch. Yeah.
Earth University. And I want to go into a little more of a deeper topic of why smart, regular, educated people will never be able to understand flat Earth.
Do I need to say anything about that? Like what he just said is just totally just crap. Smart, regular, educated people can never come to the truth is basically what he said. If you're smart, regular, and educated, like pretty much everybody here, then you can't come to the truth. You'll never figure out his flat. This guy, he has his own university, Sandro. He made Flat Earth University, and he gave himself a degree. That's why in the beginning he called himself a doctor.
Hey there, Dr. Stephen Alonso here of the Flat Earth University.
Yeah, he's a doctor of the Flat Earth University that he invented. Yep, this guy's great.
Well, it starts with the prerequisites that we all met before we realized Earth was flat.
I'm not aware of any prerequisites. Maybe I missed the boat. I guess I'm a fake flat earther then because I don't have a model or prerequisites.
a lot of it has to do with our spiritual development and the many layers that work up to where we finally went to now. And it's a process.
Spiritual development? What does that have to do with the shape of the earth, dude? I feel like he's grifting his book. He's like, yes. Do you want to know about the immortality of the soul? Like, I don't think he's specifically plugging this book, but what does that have to do with it? Just do an experiment. Go take a camera and point it at the horizon. I don't know what that has to do with being spiritual at all. Even a little bit. Like what?
Process of inner development that we have to do ourselves. No one can just tell you Earth is flat and then you sure, of course Earth is flat.
No one can tell you it's flat. Without inner development, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Let me rewind that. I can't even believe you just said that, to be honest with you.
And it's a process of inner development that we have to do ourselves. No one can just tell you Earth is flat and then you sure, of course Earth is flat.
I'm going to keep going because, like I said, I already covered this in the stream previous slightly. So we're going to try to get to the 5-minute mark. But, oh, my gosh, if you keep saying these things, I'm going to have to pause and comment on it. There's no way around it.
I like to go back to the COVID pandemic.
Okay, we can skip this. That's good.
Conscious and unconscious mind hasn't been fully developed. Your ability to disseminate information and understand how reality actually works will always be flawed. When we talk about the unconscious mind, the deepest level of us, that refers to the spiritual development that happens over years and years of work. For a lot of us, we already know.
I'm confused. What does this have to do with flat Earth, dude? It reminds me of, this is like COVID calisthenics, dude. It's two unrelated things.
Know that all the moon landings were fake. We know that vaccines are bad and make you sick. We know that the whole
all right, we do know that, but let's like not talk about that, you know.
U.S. government, it's their data. But for example, during the COVID
pandemic, all right, maybe this is why we skipped the 5 minutes before. We couldn't even.
As we are, they won't look at that, and they'll actually just look at the government data. Which
he's basically saying, you know, plan, you know what, and you need to figure that out. And if you don't know that it was a thing that was planned in 2020, then you can't possibly come to the conclusion the Earth is flat because you're not awake yet. And you need to work on your inner conscience and whatever, dude. I mean, I think there's flat earthers that unfortunately got the thing in 2020. Like, undoubtedly, there's many flat earthers that still fell for that. Like, and he's basically saying, like, oh man, he's
perfectly fine.
Let's just skip the 5 minutes. We've already seen all this.
It's a fundamental problem, and they get sick. And
she's still talking about it, dude.
If you get cancer, it is 100% your fault, and we have to be.
Oh, great. That's okay. Let's get this in context. This is for entertainment purposes only. I don't support what Stephen Alonso is saying here.
Think it's just a random thing that we're helpless to, and it's a part of life. But that's not true at all. If you get cancer, it is 100% your fault, and we have to be mature enough to take responsibility for that, despite.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's always your fault. I mean, if you live in a bad area and the climate and there's a lot of smog and, you know, maybe you live near a data center or something, like, dude, things can happen all the time. I mean, you can get sick just from living near wind turbines because of the loudness and the swooshing. You know what I mean? And there's people that get sick from that. So
how uncomfortable.
I mean, I guess it would be their fault because they chose to live there. But, I mean, this is just a flawed point.
Or even rude, it may sound like what I'm saying, and this
boils does sound like that, Steven. It sounds like a little bit rude, yeah. A little bit. He gives me the King Nico vibe. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree. But he's worse because King Nico doesn't have a fake university, and he doesn't sell TFE merch. At least King Nico says TFE is fake. This guy supports it.
What I said earlier, their ability to disseminate information and understand how reality works. So with flat Earth, it's no different. It doesn't matter how much science.
I think it's a little different. I think it's a little bit different. Let's see what he says, though.
You show them, how many arguments you show them. If they haven't done that initial inner work to reach that point where they're able to understand reality itself, they're not going to be able to understand anything.
I guess he kind of has a point here. I'll give him a little bit, like, there's going to be people, no matter how much evidence you show them, they're not going to believe it. And I think he gets the inner work wrong because really it's just indoctrination and they don't want to like believe they've been lied to. So it's more so about getting over the fact that, wow, a lot of people can hold a lie and everybody's been lying to you. So but he doesn't explain it in that way. He's saying it's some type of spiritual thing you have to do. It doesn't make any sense.
Because the government told them it's a globe. They grew up being taught
There you
it's
go,
a
yeah.
globe. Cognitive dissonance plays a big part, but cognitive dissonance is only
Uh-oh.
part of your subconscious mind. A lot of people are able to
He's got the diagram. You know he's legit.
work on their subconscious mind, but until they do the spiritual inner development, that takes up to 5 years. You guys know as well. You didn't just one day discover flat Earth and you're like, yeah, it's flat. You might
5 years. Hey Sandro, how long did it take you to figure it out, man? Because did you have any spiritual development in the flat Earth journey? Did you just like I don't even know what this would look like. What does a flat Earth spiritual journey even entail? I have no idea. Maybe it's something like Witsit's doing or something like that. I think that maybe he was on a flat Earth spiritual journey.
have if you already done the prerequisites and knew the
Whoa.
foundation, you're like,
So
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
flat.
I hate when this guy does this. He says something dumb, and then he will double down on it and not give himself a way out of his previous dumb statement. Let's see how he traps himself in this statement.
Might have if you are. Well, you didn't just one day discover flat Earth and you're like, yeah, it's flat.
Flat Earth. It took you 5 years, right? Or
Might have if you already done the prerequisites and knew the foundational concepts.
if you did the prerequisites, which is his spiritual inner waking journey nonsense. So there's only two options. Either you do the prerequisites or you do the prerequisites. There is no prerequisites, dude. They don't exist. You just made them up. You're like gatekeeping the flat Earth. You're like, dude, don't even bother being a flat earther if you haven't done spiritual inner work.
So
I mean,
lot
it's the title. Why regular smart people will never be able to understand spiritual inner work is required. This is literally the message he's giving.
people ask me, Steve, why don't you talk about flat Earth in real life with your friends? Well, there's no point, first of all.
There's no point. Well, yeah, there's no point for you, Steve, because I don't think they want to be at your university.
It's not a salvation issue. I actually
Okay.
don't care. If you want to believe in the globe, you can. As long as you're a good person, it makes no difference.
Oh, see, this is the thing. He's not. He just said, as long as you're a good person. This guy's not even a Christian. I mean, I already knew that. Just look at his science textbook. Look at the books. I mean, he's got a weird. He claims to know all about biblical cosmology, but he only uses half of the Bible, and he doesn't fully agree with it. I think he's a short seasonist as well. He believes in Tartaria, and the timeline got shifted, and there's 1,000 years missing. Like he's off the end on that.
To me at all.
He basically said, just be a good person. He said, oh, this isn't salvation. Just be a good person. Well, that's not salvation either. There's good people that go to hell, unfortunately, because they don't know Jesus.
When we talk about hoaxes such as COVID or vaccines,
Dude, let's not talk about that.
we can actually save their lives.
See what I
So-
mean? Like he spent like at least 3-4 minutes in this video talking about that, and this is supposed to be a flat Earth video.
Then, yeah, should we be more vocal about stuff that actually affects their health, their long-term ability to live a happy life? Absolutely. I do believe we have a moral obligation to stop people from injecting them.
Oh, here we go with the moral obligations again. You guys remember the last moral obligation when he said we were morally obligated to debate Will Duffy? Yeah, I'm not taking any moral obligations from you.
Themselves and causing themselves damage if we can try to help them.
I mean, I agree with
again,
him here,
as-
but this is like, I mean,
Even up to 2022, when
Come
that
on,
will
dude.
never get sick at all. In that in 2020 itself, I want to do
oh, here we go.
called COVID calisthenics.
Here we go. This is
I mentioned that
he's gonna grift. Let's get ready for the grifting.
in 2022 because that's when I wrote the book called COVID Calisthenics. For myself, I wanted to teach people how to exercise at home because what we found out, as soon as the government, from their own data, found out that exercise and nutrition was the secret to preventing COVID, they shut down.
All right,
out
let's just.
get sick. We're all like,
Is this all he's?
able
Is
to
this,
them,
is
which
this all
to
this is?
clarify that the scientists whose job it is to are at university that COVID's real, just saying they're stupid because That's just not true. So it's very important to
Okay.
understand that you need about 5 years of internal spiritual development to get to the point that most of you follow in this channel are.
You need 5 years of inner spiritual development. Guys, yeah, take it easy. Take it easy, Sandro. What's up, Scott? How's it going, man? How's it going? But yeah, 5 years, there's so much I could say about this. You don't need 5 years of inner spiritual development to come to any conclusion based on the earth. I would argue you don't even need 5 years to even come to the gospel and believe in Jesus Christ. Look at the thief on the cross. How much time did he have? Not very much. So,
For myself, I moved to believe.
I mean, he's just adding prerequisites to believing in the flat earth. Like, if I was a non-flat earther and I saw this, I probably would just be like, wow, dude. I mean, I'm not there yet. I'll see you in like 4 years, Steven, you know? Like,
maybe 6, almost 7 years ago now, but being able to work part-time doing software development for around 2 hours a day is what I did when I first moved here. I lived a very basic life. I didn't have the same house I
I
have
wonder
now
if software development was a part of his inner spiritual journey that he's talking about.
on everything, but it gave me the time to actually research and study what I needed to do, and I got a great, you could say at least 3 years of dedicated focus, and even up to like 5 years of that. But even before I moved to Belize, way back in Canada, I knew climate change was a hoax. I knew 9/11 was done by the government.
Okay.
I knew the moon landings were fake. I didn't know about flat Earth then because
Okay, but look, I mean, you don't need any spiritual awakening to know these things. You just need to, like, wake up. That's it. Hey, what's up, Dirty Ketchup? Yeah, I mean, it's weird, dude. Like, I wonder if he went through some spiritual awakening to figure out about 9/11. Like, really? You think so? Like, you didn't just come across a documentary and say, wow, that's true, and believe it? Like, it's not that easy. It's somehow more difficult than just coming to the truth. It's not more difficult than that. For some people, maybe, because they're indoctrinated and they're like, oh my gosh, I've been lied to. But still, like, come on, dude.
it takes a lot of work to get to that point.
It doesn't. I hate to tell you, it really doesn't.
So I just want to
In fact, it takes almost zero work to get to that point. Flat Earth certified personal trainer. Yeah, I mean, he just plugged his COVID calisthenics book here a second ago. There it is, COVID calisthenics. I skipped through it because he's talking about the first word in his book. So we don't want to watch that on here. Maybe we'll keep that for Rumble one day.
stress how important that
I don't think I want any of this guy's COVID misinformation anyways. I'll be honest with you. I'm not even like big on, the government response, and I didn't take anything or comply in any way, but I wouldn't take his word for it either, even if he did say some truth there.
is, and to make it clear that regular, educated, smart people will never be able to understand flat Earth. And
I feel like he said this earlier in the video. I don't know why he had to repeat himself and also put it in the title. I mean, this guy's just bashing his audience. Who is this guy's audience? Is it not regular, smart, educated people that just figured out the truth? I feel like I'm being attacked here. Like, he's calling everybody out. Everybody that watches this guy falls in the category, and we can't know the truth according to him.
that's why I think there's no real benefit in talking to people about it. It only causes problems. They're emotionally attached to their beliefs.
Oh my goodness. I mean, somebody's got to tell him the truth, dude. You know what I mean? Somebody has to do it. And it doesn't sound like he's willing to do it. If nobody tells them the truth, then they're going to die in a lie. That's just how it works. And you're saying, there's no point in telling you. You're not going to believe me anyways. That's not how you should look at things.
And they get angry, they get upset, they wonder, what do you know that I don't know? How can you think this?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that with any hoaxes. In general, if you fall for one
But
hoax,
why is he just running away? He says, no, I don't mention it to anybody. I just make videos on it. And it sounds like his videos aren't even for new people. They're for people that don't, or that people that already know the earth is flat. Because he said, well, everybody who watches my channel, you guys have followed the prerequisites of the 5-year inner development work. So I guess that is his audience. I don't know. I mean, it's very strange.
hoax, you're going to fall for all the others. The same group of people who believe in climate.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks he's an expert. Of course he did. Yeah, he gave himself the certificate, Ketchup. 100%. This is his flat earth certificate right here. He says it in the beginning of the video. Let's hear him say it.
Hey there, Dr. Stephen Alonso here of the Flat Earth University.
Yep, there it is. And he made that university, so yeah. Grifter.
I think there's no real benefit in talking to people about it. It only causes problems. And you can see that with any hoaxes. In general, if you fall for one hoax, you're going to fall for all the others. The same group of people who believe in climate change.
If you fall for one hoax, you're going to fall for all the others. That's also not true. I think there's many people that figured out 9/11 but didn't figure out another one. You know what I mean? There's people that still think the moon landing is completely fake and nobody went to the moon, but they don't know the earth is flat. So they're not falling for all the other hoaxes, are they? Yeah, he's a doctor, Dirty Ketchup. He's a doctor. Yep. This grifter is supposed to teach people about the Gleason map that's been debunked. Love it.
Change. Also believe that COVID was real. Also believe
okay,
that
bro, let's stop talking about it.
Tell that there is a foundational issue that goes way deeper than just access to knowledge, because
there's a foundational, see this, maybe with some people, I'll give them that, you know, some people hold on to their beliefs, but for the majority of people, when presented with an unsurmountable pile of evidence, contrary to what they believe, it wouldn't take them 5 years to go through all that evidence and change their mind. It should take them a week at most. You know what I mean? Sift through all the evidence, sleep on it, talk to your friends about it, and then come to a conclusion. I don't think it's just weird, dude.
The days of the internet, everyone has access to the same information. Like even when the FDA got sued,
okay,
Pfizer's own safety
we don't need the FDA
thing that two
or Pfizer,
I believe it was,
nope,
narrative.
Don't need it.
And that is when I started.
I'm sure it's great, but now he's plugging his other book. So first he plugged COVID calisthenics. Now he's plugging immortality of the soul. Let's see it.
Yet they would still defend the narrative. And that is when I started writing Immortality of the Soul. This was published in 2020, and it goes into the deeper concepts in 2020.
NPCs. Egregories, resets, self-initiation, scripted reality, fake events, NPCs, reincarnation, and inner knowing. Do you think he knows what an NPC is?
And it goes into the deeper...
There's no real NPCs, dude. It's a figure of speech. I just find it odd you would use it on the cover of your book.
Concepts about this fundamental issue I'm talking about. Why is spiritual work so important? What's all the foundational...
It took you 12 minutes to get to this point. Let's see, why is it so important? Other than the fact that if you don't do it, you'll never figure out any truth at all, and you'll go for every single hoax, no matter what.
Concepts that lead up to that. And in here, I just went over a whole bunch of stuff, like even the Uvalde shooting, all the mud flood resets.
The mud floods. Woohoo! Yay, dude. Love that, dude. All the mud flood resets. How many mud flood resets do you think is in his book? I'm going to guess 5. And I think it'll stay a guess because I'm not buying that.
A ton of stuff. The Challenger explosion, Titanic, and the RMS. There's the 1927 photo.
Wait a minute. What does this have to do with spiritual awakening? The book is literally called The Immortality of the Soul. And it's a book about psyops. It's literally a book about false flags. What does that have to do with the immortality of the soul? So in order for you to understand, this is the thing. He's like, well, it hurts my brain, dude. It really hurts my brain. I can't even make sense of it. I'll be honest with you, because it doesn't make any sense.
Globe. There's tons of even monkeypox, or another one I'm laughing at.
Monkeypox. He's got monkeypox in his book about the immortality of the soul. He's laughing about it too. He knows it's funny. What the hell does that have to do with monkeypox, dude?
Right here is Ukraine. Remember when there was a war in Ukraine, this little teeny tiny country, and somehow that caused the global supply chain? There's hundreds of these little things that
psyops,
people without that foundational knowledge can't understand.
Brother, this sounds like it is the foundational knowledge. What do you mean without the foundation? What is the foundational knowledge? You were supposed to say that, and then you open the book about the supposed foundational knowledge, and you read off like 15 psyops and false flags and fake events. Or, possibly real events, depending on who you ask. Whatever. He hasn't even gotten into the criteria. I don't even think he knows. I'll be honest. He doesn't even know.
These are easy to understand.
Maybe it's the mud floods. Maybe I got to figure the mud floods out, and I'll be able to really understand.
Put this book back up here. I like it because it shows my 6-pack.
I like it because it shows my 6-pack, brother. No, bro. The 6-pack.
Their own data.
Let's see the
found out
six-pack.
that to teach people how to exercise at home.
That's, it's kind of there. I don't know, dude. It's not. Kind of looks like the before picture, not the after. I like it because it shows my 6-pack. Yeah, I'm sure you do, Steven. We don't like it, actually. And not for that reason.
I like it because it shows my 6-pack. To clarify, to get a 6-pack, that's only low body fat. So you can...
Here we go. To clarify, this is how you get a 6-pack, guys. First, you need spiritual awakening for 5 years.
Take your body fat percentage. This has nothing to do with muscle mass. Get your body fat percentage to around 15, even 10% if you have no muscles, and you're going to look ripped. Into a lot of this pack isn't hardly many years. But going back to what I was saying, there's that foundational root that can take many, many years.
What is it, Steven? What is that? Oh my gosh, dude. He's just talked about every PSYOP, every COVID misinformation thing you could mention. Whether it's misinformation or not, I don't know. I didn't watch it because it's not allowed on YouTube for the most part. That's all I've heard. And then you're gaslighting people and saying, oh, well, you smart people, you're never going to come to the truth because you didn't do spiritual awakening. But you never entail. Do you have to meditate? Do you follow Jesus? Do you got to read some book? Do you have to go to Belize and live in the mountains? What are you doing? What is this entail? He hasn't said it. It's 13 minutes in. He's been only talking about COVID, his books, and how everybody's stupid. And if you believe in one psyop, you'll believe them all.
For people to be exposed to, and even in religion, it's not as simple as just being a Christian or just being a Muslim until you went into the deeper concepts of your religion. And a very good example of this is a Christian deliverance. When you're trying to deliver demons from someone, a Christian deliverance.
What does this guy know about that? That is way out of left field here, but sure, go ahead.
Also works in the exact same way as a Muslim deliverance does.
It's not the same thing, dude. God doesn't... Satan's kingdom is not divided. You're not going to cast out a demon in the same way as you would as a Muslim, as a Christian. That's just not true, dude. They're not even saying the same things.
It has a separate name. Muslims call it
it's a separate name.
Deliver people from demons is the exact same reason why Christians can as well. And it has nothing to do with the religion as a whole.
The reason Muslims can do it is the same reason Christians can? No, dude. No. This is wrong. This is ecumenicalism. He's saying we're both right. He just said the Christians and the Muslims are both right in this regards, which it cannot possibly be that case.
Has to do with the inner spiritual knowledge.
And it's all inner spiritual knowledge, so it doesn't matter about the Bible. It doesn't matter about being a Muslim. It's all about yourself. This is Gnosticism.
And I'm hoping I'm not offending anyone by that. I'm not.
I'm kind of offended, but, I was more so offended about everything else you said.
Really religious myself, but to understand...
Oh, he's not religious himself, but he's going to tell you about the immortality of the soul and spiritual awakening. Is that right?
And I'm hoping I'm not offending anyone by that. I'm not really religious myself.
Yeah, it shows.
But to understand the deeper inner knowledge is what's universally true and what applies to anything you do in life. And I think that's so important to understand because a lot of us will waste our time trying to talk to people about flat Earth, and it will ruin your social circles. It will make people not like you. And I don't think there's any benefit.
If I was one of his viewers, I get the impression if I bite into this, instead of talking about flat Earth, I would start telling people to have a spiritual awakening which is even worse.
To talking to the profane, to the uninitiated.
I mean, this is just
about
gaslighting. You're better than everyone else. They're not even worth talking to because they go for all the psyops, and even if you tell them the truth, they won't believe you. So it's not even. Come on, dude. Get a load of this, man. I mean,
these topics. I really can't think of a reason how it would benefit someone to know that the Earth is flat, unless they've done
Yay, it fell. He's like, no, my degree.
the prerequisite.
Oh no, my degree.
Oh.
Oh no. The FT, fuck, sorry, English language. The the final FTE documentary. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I dropped the documentary.
Because there's a lot of
He's
work
trying
you
to keep the book open.
have to do on that. Remember, it's not a salvation issue. You're not going to
Brother, you just said salvation is being a good person earlier in the video, so don't tell me about a salvation issue. I feel like you should be asking what it is.
go to hell if you think the Earth is a globe. Knowing about flat Earth helps us have a
Just
better
Incredible. What's up,
understanding
brother?
of our world.
I'm gonna give you a
We
spanner.
know that, true, we are created. Firmaments can't come from Big Bang, so knowing about flat Earth
Firmaments can't come from big bangs. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Finally, you said something. I'm like, yeah, for sure, man.
falsifies the globe's Big Bang cosmology. It also lets us know about other possibilities. For example, if there is land beyond the 90-degree south parallel, for example, on the
I think
moon,
it's within the 90-degree south parallel. That's why I don't like this little map that he sells on his website, along with his flat Earth science textbook that's based on this map. I mean, even Sav was talking about last night how there's a little bit of a gap between the time zones, and there's probably land within the circle that we don't see. So that would literally make this map not work. And it
map,
does.
a lot
it
of you are familiar with the plasma moon map. That's very good to know, but does it benefit the average person? And it really doesn't. And I would argue that
Yeah, I'll let PJ know. I'm probably going to hop in there after the stream. I'll let him know.
addressing the major stuff that affects our lives, for example, the COVID hoax, when they're locking...
Dude, why are we going back to this? For example, oh my gosh, he just keeps going back to it. He runs out of his inner spiritual knowledge because he probably lacks it. And then he just starts talking about the psyops again. He's like, look, I'm right here. Oh, look at this conspiracy knowledge. Oh, like...
Or where they're putting restrictions on cars. For example, you can't even get a small compact truck anymore because the way fuel efficiency is all done, you can only get these big giant trucks. But again, that's all due to the climate change hoax, where people believe that carbon dioxide in real life. I never found a reason to. Some of my close friends know that I believe in flat Earth, but it's not something we talk about. It has nothing to do with an actual friendship, and you don't want to make it your entire personality either. I
agree, but I think it's a little bit strange. This guy's like this flat Earth university guru with his books and his science textbook. And he's basically saying, it takes up to 5 years to even just be able to accept the Earth is flat. Like, what? This guy's a grifter, dude. If you had enough evidence and you showed your friends, I'd be willing to bet they'd probably believe it.
Hang out with friends and talk about stuff that I actually like, going to nature hikes in Belize, even exercising and that type of stuff. Flat Earth.
I'm not saying you have to. It's just kind of weird. Like, this guy's whole personality is flat Earth. I mean, he made a whole fake university and calls himself a doctor. And he's making the point, oh, don't make flat Earth your whole personality. My guy, look at what you're doing here. What's on the wall? I mean, you dropped your TFE documentary over there.
Is a hobby for me. I definitely enjoy it. But there's so much more to life than that. And I want all of you guys to take that very seriously. Don't ruin your social circles thinking that it's your moral obligation to convert people or to educate them on flat Earth.
That's so weird because he's given a moral obligation to do that exact thing. Yeah, no fantasy football, dude. The closest thing would just be, like, I don't know. I keep up with college football a lot. I watch it. I'd have to look into it, man. I've never delved into it.
And that's why, even for my content that I do, I address the senior level topics. I don't really go into
the senior level topics. Oh my goodness, dude. So his channel's for the 5-year spiritually awakened flat earthers. Only the seniors will understand it. Like, come on, dude.
To any of the basics. It's not really my thing. And there's also people who are
He
better.
doesn't do the basics because the basics of his model doesn't work. I only do the really hard stuff, not the simple stuff that doesn't work on my model. Yeah, okay.
At that than me. For example, Flat Earth Dave. If someone is at the junior level and new to Flat Earth, I would recommend Flat Earth Dave's channel. I go into more of the
I could comment on Flat Earth Dave, but I'm just going to keep going.
senior level concepts, such as how gravity works on an infinite plane with Gauss's law.
So he believes in gravity. Wow, Steven Alonso, the gravity guy. Really? Wow, Steven. I thought I heard you talking about gravity in another video, but here it is.
A senior level concepts, such as how gravity works on an infinite plane with Gauss's law, how the 24-hour sun is predicted on flat Earth, how the south celestial pole works, all of that. And those are the type of topics that...
So basically, in order for anybody to understand your grift, they have to work on themselves for 5 years, and then they'll be on your ultimate grifting level that you finally achieved by grifting so hard.
I like to address, and it's usually towards people who have already been initiated into this knowledge, so it's not going to upset them that much. Whereas if you start talking to a person on the street who has no experience about flat Earth, you're going to get the same...
Brother, it shouldn't upset anybody, dude. You're upsetting people because you've been caught lying and you're a grifter.
100 questions that everyone asks, and it's just annoying to me. They can find that out themselves.
Yeah, just shoot me a message on Discord, Just Incredible. Shoot me a message. I'll definitely look into it.
So I hope I don't offend too
I think you
many
offended
people
every
with this
single
video.
person on planet Earth with this video, including yourself. Delete it now. Honestly.
I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm always here to tell you what you need to hear.
This is what we needed to hear? Really, Steven? You think we needed to hear this?
You get offended by anything I say.
Who needed to hear this? Who needed to hear this? Because according to you, like, we've already all met the prerequisites already.
Please let me know in the comments. But it usually has to do with yourself not doing that same inner work or wanting to follow some narrative. For example, if you do not believe there's a 24-hour sun, I don't care. I do. I believe it. Like, it makes no difference to me. You don't have to try to convert people to your specific belief system.
But that's what you do, Steven. That's why you sell this. That's why you have a university. That's why you have a flat Earth science textbook. That's what you do, not us.
If that makes sense. We're all here on a journey to truth, understanding how the world works. And as long as you believe we live on the Gleason map, the North Polar AE projection, you're perfectly good in my book.
As long as you believe in the Gleason map. Oh, boy. Oh, man. And gravity, too. Because you mentioned that.
Or the type of flat earther who makes no claims, we have no model, but Earth is measured flat. Well, I'm going to have a little bit of a problem with that, because that's kind of like the trolling where it holds you back as well.
So that's trolling? Saying we measure something flat's trolling?
Need to make hypotheses, you need to test stuff. But overall...
You need a model, that's what he's saying. You have to have a model. If you don't have a model, then you might as well be a glober. He said that in another video.
I think most of the flat Earth community is pretty good. Especially after the final experiment where we got rid of a lot of the trolls and grifters. We now...
The trolls and grifters, sir, you are a troll and a grifter. What are you talking about? The lack of self-awareness is just off the charts here, dude. We got rid of the trolls and grifters? Well, we didn't get rid of you, Steven.
Have people who are genuine believers and who understand that Earth is flat. Thank you guys for listening.
Okay, well, I think that's going to wrap up the stream. I'm going to end with a song here, and we'll call it a day. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Drop a like if you haven't already. And, yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show on earth. Prepare to be amazed. Please welcome your host for this evening, Mr. Flat Earth Man.
Thank you. Listen up. The whole world's a stage and you're in the audience. audience and everything you see on the stage is fraudulent. Nothing you see before you is fact. Are you ready for your headline act? This act is truly one of a kind. They'll dazzle you and play tricks on your mind. An illusionist with billions of fans. Please welcome NASA. Put together your hands. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's so lovely to see you again. Tonight we have a very special show. There's a few things we want you to know. Tonight we reveal some of our techniques. We'll expose NASA like WikiLeaks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll show you how we fool the world. And when we're done exposing our lies, none of you are gonna realize, even though we're gonna tell you straight, it'll be too hard for you to contemplate. A trick so huge you won't believe, impossible for you to conceive. That's why we tell it, cause you'll reject it. A lie so big you can't accept it. No, you can't.
There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody high. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, space is fake.
We can't believe you fell for it, man. If you tell a lie big enough and frequently enough, it'll be believed.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm always all around on Discord, so I'll see your message. Whatever you get.
Between me and you, go check word of on Bronze Headstone. He knew about that firmament dome. He left you all a little nodding awake. For those of you still able to think, Psalm 19:1, chapter and verse. The firmament shows his handiwork. That's why when our rockets leave the earth, they form a parabolic curve. We'll then switch over to an animation. Then it's over to your imagination. But I'm here to tell you that in reality, our rockets end up in a graveyard in the sea. Our launch pads are on coastal regions. We put them there for a very good reason. Yes, we do.
There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody high. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, space is fake.
We'll know our disinformation campaign is complete when everything the American public believes is false. Yeah, rocket launches are occult rituals. They're there to brainwash these individuals to make you think that space is real and your money and your mind we can steal. It's so easy to program your mind because you guys watch TV like all the time. We control what you see on your TV because we're a branch of the military. Yeah, we teamed up with those Disney guys. They help us propagate our lies. We make cartoons about space fantasies and put them on TV for all the kids to see. We program you when you're really young. We make space travel so much fun. Then all the kids fall into our trap and all grow up believing our crap. They're called programs, man.
There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody high. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, space is fake.
And now it's over to our friends at Fake X for a short message.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Thanks, Elon. What a genius. Yeah, we go to Devon Island with our robot cars, and we convince you we got a rover on Mars. And what about the incredible ISS? Is all of that fake? Hell yes. Haven't you seen our harness mistakes? How many screw-ups is it gonna take? Haven't you noticed the bubbles in space? We film astronauts in pools, for God's sake. When are y'all gonna take the red pill and realize that none of this is real? Space travel is the biggest lie, and deceiving you makes us feel so satisfied. Our only mission is to brainwash you. You You make it so easy for us to do because nobody questions the authenticity. Making you believe in space is so easy. Yeah, we love to convince you in infinite space. We love to put you in an insignificant place. Hiding the creator is what we do. Beating the divinity right out of you. We don't want you to realize how special you are. We want you to think you came from a cosmic spark. We're secretly converting you to our religion, Satanism, scientism, atheism. Won't you join us? There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody high. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody high. It's only your imagination that's been a space.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming. What a lovely audience. Make sure you research some of the things you've seen tonight. But I know you won't. You'll just go home, watch the news and believe it all. Look what NASA did this week, son.